Okay, this video is my response back to Brandon. Uh, just to give you a visual, this would be a practice run to making a presentation to Stan Johnson of the Prophecy Club. I need to redraw all these in the graphics without the color. So what you're seeing here is the finished model of the 7-acre Goshen Camp. It's been over a year since I've been messing with this stuff, so it takes a little while to get back into it. So, okay, how can we start this? So the main starting point will be to calculate the size of this micro camp, right? And I did have it figured out to about 72 feet across. And so what we're going to do is take 1 acre, being 560 feet, divided by 3 equals 14,520. Now you take that and you divide that by 3, you get 4,840 square feet, right? And if you take the square root of that, you get 69.57. So you just need a calculator for this. So this length here, this side length here would be 69.57 feet. All right. Now we're going to divide that by 6. So we're going to take, I'll have to get my calculator here again. Where did it go? We're going to take 69.57, multiply that by itself, times 3. That brings us back up to 14,519. Yeah, 520, so it's close. And so we're going to divide that by 6. So it's going to give us 2420 approximately. So 2420, that represents this triangle here. So what we did was we've taken this, we divided by 6 to get this triangle. So this triangle here represents 1/96. So there's 96 of these triangles. I think 96 or 98. 96 of these triangles in this 5-point what is it? I got too many calculations here. Mine's a little bit tired. 5.33 acre plot. So in this 5.33 acre plot, which would be in this yellow zone, there's 96 of these triangles, right? And so I basically go by shape. And so if you take this here, you multiply by 6. I'm going to multiply that by 6. We get 14,520. So we get this here again, right? So we're going to take this here, divide by 6 times 8, and we're going to get 19,360 square feet. So we're actually getting this diamond here, right? Configuration. We're going to back up. We're going to divide that by 2. Divide that by 4. We're back to 2420, which is your 196th area. we're going to multiply that by 4. So we're going to get 9680. So if you go from here to here and across here, if you take half this diamond, you're going to get a larger triangle, right? 9,680 feet. So that represents 1/24th of the 5.33 acres, right? There's always 3 ways to calculate the same outcome. So that's what we're going to go with at the 69.57 feet, because that's what it works out to. If you take 69.57 and you multiply that by, if you square that and times 3, you get 14.52 or 14,520. And you times that by 3, and we should get an acre. 43559. We can divide that by 43560. Yeah, so this year, using six of these to make up this micro camp gives you 1/3 of an acre even, right? Like to keep it even. And so your overall area would be 69.57 for your side length, right? And you square that, and you get 48.39 times 3, 14,520 square feet in this area here. So if you go from the center outward, we know that our side length is 69.57, 69.57, right? So that's going to be the same distance toward the center. Now on these trailer setups, these trailers are set up on the hypotenuse. So you want to be able to figure out the center to the side. So you take 69.57, multiply that by 0.866025, and you get 60, just a little over 60 foot, 60.24 feet from center to the hypotenuse. Now we know that the trailers are going to be around 40 foot. So we need to calculate, this is your center connector, your dome. I think this is going to be, I haven't finished calculating this. I do have room to play. I think we're going to use the H7 panel system, each panel being 48, so it'll be 48 times 9. That's going to give us a building of 432 square feet with 16-foot sides, right? And that's kind of tight. I'm going to go with that for now. And we're going to add a porch extension here on it, the 6 porch extensions attached to this. So, we already know that we're is it 12 feet from center or 16 foot from center? $48 times 9 equals 432. We divide that by 3, and we take the square of that. So we're 12 foot. 12 foot out. I think we'd want to go a little bit bigger. And so what we might do is go 12, 16, maybe we're going to go 20 feet from center. That's going to be close to what the actual size is going to be. So we want the hypotenuse of 20 times 0.866025, and we get 17 1/3 feet. Then we're going to add 40 feet for the trailer. So we're going to get about 57, 58 feet. And so we're just under our mark. We check it again at 69.57. Take the hypotenuse times 0.866025. You get 60. So these trailers here would be expanded fairly tight. It would take up the whole area here, right? So this concept here would be expanded to take up this whole frame. And so your side length would be, say, I'm just going to say roughly 70 feet. It's better than saying 69.57. So if you're 70 feet across, your diameter is 140 feet. So this whole area is pretty well going to be used up. You want to be able to drive your trailers in, and start parking them in from the far side, right? And so that's going to take a little bit of maneuvering, and I think that's going to work. This could actually be spun around to where the trailers go into the points, right? So when I draw it up, you'll figure out the best way. You just it is a little bit on the tight side though. I like this here because you got room to drive around. So I may expand it. I'm not sure yet. I may expand this. This is 5.33 acres inside this. I may expand this to a 7 acre. So if I expand it to 7 acre, that would be 7 times 43560, 304,920 square feet. And we're going to divide that by 3, take the square root. That gives us a side length of 318 feet. We're going to divide that by 4. So that will give us an expansion from roughly 70 feet to about 80 feet. And so it's going to give us about a 10-foot buffer. We take the hypotenuse of that. So we got about 70 feet from the side to the center. So we take 70 minus 40. That leaves us another 30. It gives us a little bit more room. I'm not sure exactly what to do here yet. The expansion does help. It's better to be bigger than smaller. So if we do go to 7 acres, 7 times 4, 3,560, 304,920, divide by 96. Get 3,176, and multiply that by 6. We would actually, this micro camp would be, go from 14,520 to 19,057 square feet. So that little bit extra room would work. So this would make up 1/16 of the whole. This, by putting 6 of these triangles, each one of these triangles represents 1/98. So you put 6 of them together, that gives you, this turns out to be 1/16 of the whole, right? And so the center plot, the way that's designed in the center, so I just used all the geometric lines on this. I have not used any straight line or square box projections on these. This is 100% isometric calculated, right? And there's a reason for that. So I think the camps, if you're going to go to a long-term camp, you're going to want the inside portion to be 7 acres. And now you can add your expansion zone. You got 7 times 4, 3, 5, 6, 0, 3,304,920 square feet. Now if we're going to add an extra third, we divide that by 3 times 4. It's going to give us 406,560 square foot. Now we divide that by 1 acre, 43560. We get 9.33 acres. So this would be a third of expanded here, right? And so we need to figure out our distance from here to here and our distance from here to here to calculate this distance here. So we're going to go back to 7 acres times 43560, and we get that divided by 3, take the square root, 318 feet from here to here, right? 318.81. We're just going to do a rough calculation here. And I wonder if we can use this formula here. Divide by 3 times 4, 425. I better write this down. 425. Do the 7 acres again. $425 minus 318. That gives us a buffer of 107 square feet. Now we're going to divide that by 2. So we get 53.5 feet from here to here. And if we want to figure out the hypotenuse, take 53.5 times that by 0.866025, and you get 46.33 feet going across, right? This here is just a border. It's not part of the concept. So we'd have approximately 9.33 acres here, and inside the yellow, you would have a 7 acre plot. I'll probably go with that. I like those numbers. You might be asking, what's this yellow? And this yellow is actually a type of, how can I say it? It's like a wraparound greenhouse, right? This would be 8 feet. It could be 12 feet wide. On here, it's just 8 foot wide, where you'd actually make your foundation pours, then you put up your framework, and this would be all designed as a like a framework for vine crops, right? So this will actually act like a protective wall. So you could put all your different blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries on the outside, and stuff with lots of vines. And on the inside, you could do garden vines like squash, tomatoes, cucumbers, and all that. You have lots of areas, right? You got lots of area. So this is going to provide food for the entire camp. And this would be part of the prep work and for the permanent camps. So these orange units here, they're actually buildings that you set up like corner posts that these would join to, right? And so the top could be like a lookout, power generating system, so that this arbor system that goes around, I would like to be able to design it so it has a walkway on the top. So on the walkway on the top, you could put beehives or whatever, beehives, and the vines would go well together. And on the inside, you could have chickens, you could have dogs. It could be a place where you could come and just relax. But it's going to provide a tremendous amount of food for the area. Keep everybody busy, right? It'd be a good place for the dogs to run at night, and they're going to let you know if anything comes near. And so this is your micro camp, right? Which will be expanded out now. So this is going to be bigger than 1/3 of an acre. Now it's going to calculate that again. 7 acres times 4, 3, 5, 6. So you divide that by 16. 19,058 square feet approximately in this. And yeah, so it's, how can we calculate that? So if we divide that by 43,560, be about 0.43 of an acre. And I'm going to have to live with that. I like the fact that the overall size of this macro plot, of this macro camp, is 7 acres. And that the size of this micro camp is 1/16 of the whole, right? I think we're going to go with that. And having the 43-foot expansion here on the hypotenuse, it's going to give us enough room to make this wrap around periphery here, and also for this would be your border that would go all the way around. And you can see this is where your roads come in, right? And so this road here would actually go here to give you access outside the camp. All right, we're not going to do much on this, but you can see that you got your split trailer concept in your micro camp. So you're going to be able to handle 3 to 5 people per trailer, right? With a split trailer, you can have access. Now you actually got two 12 or two 16-foot units split in the center. We have side access, and they are connected to this wraparound deck here. In the center building, this would be your place where you would come together and eat. So everybody could have general meals here, and you could actually expand this, upgrade it to where you could have a second story, a loft for the family that's in the center. So the family that's in the center, they would be managing it. You probably have two families in the center, so you can actually take breaks, right? And so overall, you'd have roughly about 40 people, 7 families, roughly about 40 people. And you take 40 times 6, that give you 240 people on a 7-acre plot, which is better than 3 1/4 acre. I miscalculated on that one. And in the center here, you would have a geodesic dome in here, right? So we know that we're 40 foot from here. We know the distance from here to here is about 40 foot. So the geodesic dome is going to take up about 2/3 of this space, right? And so if you got your dome like this, then using the relocation platform technology, you'd be able to make your main floor, that would be elevated off the ground, second floor, third floor, and your third floor would be your atrium. Your second floor would be apartment complexes around the periphery, and the main floor would be your main gathering point, where people can come together to have maybe a couple main meals a day, right? So you can still come together to make your breakfast and all that. And the way that it worked out on the North Farm in Uppsala, when I was there in 84, they had a farm of 120 people, that the people had their own homes. This would be a similar arrangement, but they all came together for noon meal and for supper, right? And also for praise and worship. So that's what this would be, kind of based on. Then you got lots of different funking patterns that you could use. You could have this here could be set up with the greenhouses around here, right? Different activity points, and you could have maybe place for grazing and barns in this area. I got all this drawn out. So basically, I'm just showing how the micro camps go together to form your 7-acre macro camp layout, expanded by 30% to give you about 9.33 acres roughly. So that's still not too big. It's a fair sized chunk of land, And so we're going to go out of here, and we're going to go, is it this one? That's one we were at. So we're going to go to this here. I don't know if this is appropriate or not. Different design concept. I don't have the split trailers drawn on this. Okay, this is work. This is the split trailer design. So this would be your micro camp. No, it's not. Now, if you're 9.33 acres on this macro camp, you take 9.33 and you multiply that by 5, and you're going to get about 46.65 acres roughly, right? And I'm going to have to rework all this. I'll do this all over again. So you would have 9.33 acres. So you make this stackable. So this would be your primary spiritual center here, the main gathering point for all 6 micro camps, right? So this is the main gathering point for your macro camp. And this is doubled off here. So this here and this here is the same. And this here would be where you'd have a larger geodesic dome set up here, because you're going to need to be able to accommodate roughly about 500 people here, right? Your spiritual centers here, you're accommodating about 250 people, and you got another, I don't know, 144 people living in this year. So this would be your main spiritual gathering point. You got your other camps around here, right? You can do many different designs, but the center is more elaborate. The center, you would have your like these could be greenhouses, these could be shops. You need your infrastructures, so the infrastructure would be on the inside. And the way that is set up, you have access right through the entire area, and your side extensions, these are what's reserved for growing food. And then you would take your I was going to do take your 9.33 acres, you multiply that by 5, and you get 46.65. You could go let's go a quarter, 25% expansion. We divide that by 3 times 4, and we get 62. 662. So you're actually adding a buffer, around the whole concept. So when you put this together, you're going to have a buffer between the ARCSHIP, right? So these are just rough numbers. And to make the ARCSHIP, I'm sure I got pictures of it somewhere. I don't have my glasses on, it's hard to see. Yeah, so this would be like an ARCSHIP model, right? Where you could actually put it together into a larger concept. So in this particular concept, if each ARCSHIP is, I've kind of expanded this out. And well, actually this here would actually be your buffer. It's a little bit on the bigger side. So this would be like a full buffered expansion, right? Well, you can see how it kind of goes together. I've made hundreds and hundreds of different designs over the years. So many different designs. So this here is the book. This is going to be the manual for the ARCSHIP. Need to have this done by the end of April. And we're just going to expand this out. I'm trying to get the title here. Okay, so the ARCSHIP stands for Advanced Relocation Contingency Plan for Sustainable Housing in Close Proximity. That's what the Lord gave me. Preparing for climate chaos and the end of the world as we know it. I kind of doubled on these words here. Preparing to live off-grid until Yeshua comes. So this work here is about 2 years old now. I need to finish it up. I'm trying to find a standard ARCSHIP layout. I don't think I got that far yet. Okay, what happened here? That's a different design. No, I don't have the... Okay, this would be an ARCSHIP here. So if you got 9.33 acres in each one of these ARCSHIPs, you know, you could actually expand this out to 9.33. I'd probably go to about a 12-acre expansion because you want enough room to be able to drive in between, right? You need at least, it'd be nice to have about 40 feet in between. And so you actually put these, this would actually go together to build a full advanced ARCSHIP design. So if we go at, I have to figure out my numbers and all this. So if each ARCSHIP is a 12 acres, you're going to want to multiply that by 9. And that's going to give you about 108 acres. You know that. So I think the finished ARCSHIP design would be 144 acres, I think. That sounds about right. So each ARCSHIP would be 12 acres times 9. Yeah, I think then we could buffer it out to about 144 acres for about 2,500 people. So, you know, I've gone through a lot of different designs over the years, and I think I'm at the point now where I have a design that's going to work. That's going to be very simple. You can see what we have here. I haven't opened these things up in over a year. That's my master templates. That's what I've been looking for. That uses all the triangles in there. That's how I figure things out, right? First series. So this is your ARCSHIP design here. So this would be an H6 model, right? 6 ARCSHIPs within the hexagonal plot. This should be another ARCSHIP designed as an H2, right? This could be used for growing food. So you got a full range of diversification. That's another ARCSHIP design. Third series. So this would be one ARCSHIP here and another ARCSHIP down here. So you keep, you get this getting to be a fair size now. You can, so if you can keep your ARCSHIPs, I'm going to turn this camera around. Try it. My hands are getting sore. It won't let me turn it around, dang it. So I'm just going to turn this camera around. Hopefully my face is going to be within view. And so that's it there, Brandon. It's like a practice run. And I get uploaded to you so you get more of a visual. So I'm going to have to start from scratch again. And I think I'll just do the isometric layout. Just you just put in the different graphics so it's easy to figure out. And it looks easy on paper, but then you're going to have to train a crew to actually do the actual setup. And so if you got a crew of 7 set up with basic survey equipment, you could actually lay out a micro camp. If you go to the 80 feet from center, you could do this in a couple of hours. So in 3 days, you should be able to do the survey on an entire macro camp, right? And once you do your survey, you do your staking, then the road crew can come in and start pushing the roads in. You could have other crews coming in to start preparing the micro camps. You can have trees to move, you can have rocks to move. Put in your power and your water systems and things like that. But this is all advanced work that can be done. And once you actually establish even a GOSHEN camp, you, instead of using 6 micro camps, you could establish 3 micro camps, for living accommodation. And this would be the staff to do your construction. So the other 3 vacant micro camps would be used as a building facilities. So you could actually have 3 building facilities set up on a 7-acre plot, and then you would have your main gathering in the center, right? So it's the design allows you to start at any one point or all points at the same time. But we're coming into the time where we're going to have to do this, right? We're going to have to break away from the system. There's going to have to be a prototype camp go up somewhere, and as long as you can lay out the land, you do need to make the center hub connector. That would have to be something that's, I've already built them. They're, to make a 6-sided building is fairly straightforward, right? Except the roof. The roof can be a little complicated. So you would either have on a 6-sided roof or a 12-sided roof, or you would have some kind of a dome structure on top of the roof, like an elevated dome system, which probably be preferable, right? And actually make a real beautiful centerpiece, I think. So if your bottom is 32 foot across, and you could actually have a 32-foot dome on the top that could be 3D printed off, and that would give you 32 divided by 2, 16. That would give you room for a second, for a main floor and for a loft area in the. So you have places for a seventh family to live, and it'd be a nice place where people can come up and kind of gather, because you would have like an open atrium concept, and you still have view all the way around. I think I'm going to end it here. I'm going to have to turn this camera around again. I don't know why I can't, won't let me shift around here, but I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to click this off now.